Good morning. I'm back again. If you weren't here earlier, or if you've forgotten, it's completely okay. My name is Dan Bognar. I'm the Managing Director of HubSpot in APAC and Japan. That icon behind me, that's actually me. And you'll be pleased to know that my wife saw the graphic last week. She signed off on it. She's happy with the picture. So we're good to go. How good was Yamini and Mark? Good? Excellent. Good. Yamini spoke about the importance of where we're at today, particularly for our early adopters. And as I look into the audience today and I look around at so many familiar faces, I know just how many early adopters we have in the room. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to inspire you by what we've been working on at HubSpot, in the hope that as early adopters, you can capitalize on this very moment to be able to drive growth at scale in your business. But before we do that, why don't we start by recognizing the rather large elephant that's in the room? Because I don't know if it's just me or whether you're feeling it as well, but there has just been so much change lately. Here we are, it's the middle of June, we're halfway through 2025 already. I have no idea where this year has gone. As I thought about what have we seen in the geopolitical environment, as I thought about what about all the uncertainty and volatility in the macroeconomic environment, when we think about the relentless pace of innovation from technology that's coming at us, one after the other, it's just overwhelming. And the reality is that your go-to-market teams, whether they be in marketing, be in sales, or be in service, they've just been through it all lately. Because the reality is, everything that they've learnt, everything that's driven success up until this very moment, just doesn't seem to have the impact that it once did. So Yamini talked about some of this, but I want to drill down a layer deeper and just give you some context in terms of what's going on. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with marketing, then go to sales, and then go to service. Do we have any marketers in the room? Yeah? I thought you'd be louder. That's okay. You will know better than anyone that the marketing playbook is being rewritten in front of our very eyes. Everything as marketers that we've done up until this point, and this is our demand growth at HubSpot over the last 15 years, everything that we've been doing has been to drive traffic to the blog in order to generate demand. And what's happening is it's no longer working. And so we've been able to rely for 15 years now on inbound, and it's just not generating the results that it once did. And so this is what we saw at HubSpot, a rapid decline in demand as a result of this phenomena. And what's behind it? Two innovations. One, AI search, people just using AI to search instead of Google. And second of all, AI overview in search. And the result has been really, really dramatic. This is actually our chart. Now, the good news is there are some silver linings. And so what we've learned is that customers are starting to find us in entirely new ways and entirely new channels. They're reaching out to us on social. They're spending time looking for us and engaging with us on online forums like Reddit. And much to our surprise, they're engaging with our content pervasively on YouTube. In fact, YouTube has been such a phenomenal driver of demand for us that we've completely diversified our marketing strategy at HubSpot, and we've doubled down on YouTube to be able to generate demand. And in today's session, you're going to hear a lot more in terms of our strategy and what's worked, and hopefully the marketers that will inspire you in your organization. Let's talk now a little bit about sales. I've been in sales for 20 years, and the honest truth of it is it hasn't changed a day. Here's what happens. Your sales reps start their day in the CRM. Hopefully that's going to be HubSpot. But what they're doing is they're trying to find prospects. They've got a long list of them, and they're trying to sort out which one do I spend my time on. And the only way they can do that is through manually searching. They're looking for websites, they're looking for annual reports, they're looking for a range of analyst information. They're trying to work out, what could this company be interested in? What are they spending money on? And do I have a solution that matches? And if they find the information, what they've then got to work out is who are their stakeholders, what's their email address, what's their phone number, and then they make a call to qualify the customer and generate a sales lead. And they do this over and over and over again. The reality is this doesn't work anymore. It's stopped working. More importantly, if this is what your reps are doing, chances are they're spending more time manually searching for information than they are selling, and it's just not cutting it in today's environment. So here's what we think the future looks like. Your reps need to be able to prepare for a call in an instant, not having searched, but information presented directly to them in a moment so they can prepare. Second of all, they need all of the relevant details in front of them. Everything summarized and synthesized for them by AI so they can glance at it and be ready for the conversation. Thirdly, they need to be having personal contextual conversations with prospects. And this means all of those AI insights need to be relevant for that particular prospect. And if they can do all of that, they will be spending more time selling than they are searching for information. Your growth demands it. Let's talk then about service. Here's the strange thing about service. It used to be entirely normal for organizations to attempt to answer through human beings each and every question that customers threw at them. That was the approach. We just hired more agents. But the reality is no one, no company, no matter how large they are, no matter how pervasive their CX team, has the human resources to be able to do this on demand 24/7. It just makes no sense. And even if we tried to do it, and I'm sure you've experienced this in your own lives, what's the impact of this? Wait times. How long have we spent? It feels like days on hold, waiting to get through to talk to somebody. And then this automated voice comes and tells us how important we are to the company. And then we get an agent. And what they're motivated to do is get us off the phone as quickly as possible, because they're measured on handling time and time to resolve case. It just makes no sense. And so what we've been talking to our customers about at HubSpot is something we call a hybrid CX team. Now, put the terminology to one side. What this means is it's a blend of agents. AI agents to be able to handle and deflect all of those routine inquiries that customers are posing, and then human agents which get involved by the AI agent more often than not when the problem gets a little bit more complex, or maybe it requires a human touch. In fact, as you've heard from Yamini already, service, and particularly AI-assisted service, is the fastest growing use case that we've seen at HubSpot. So as we step back from all of this and we think about all of the changes that we've seen around go-to-market, the question you're probably asking yourself is, Dan, this sounds really interesting, but what do we do? What's the takeaway from today? Well, I've got two pieces of advice for you. Firstly, your go-to-market teams need to evolve. But more important than that, they need to evolve fast. Why fast? Because everything that they've been doing, that they're going to continue to do as you try and evolve, is still going to be there. And what that means is, whilst they try and evolve, your campaigns just aren't going to be as effective as they used to be. Your sales pipeline is going to continue to slow. Your service tickets aren't going to close fast enough. Your customers aren't going to renew or upgrade. And I bet you that your executive team is asking you to deliver more with less than you had yesterday. It's just hard. And then layer on top of that, you've got a board and a leadership team who is expecting each of you to be across AI as it happens and understand what's the applicability of it for your business. It's hard. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's completely understandable. One of the things I think about, though, is what is making this all so hard? Well, the answer is AI, of course. Hang on. I thought we said AI was meant to make it easier. Well, let me explain to you what I mean by this. What AI is doing is it is setting a pace of business that is unrelenting, and it's becoming the new normal. Every single week, all of the AI platforms release hundreds, if not thousands, of new features and innovations. Every week, there's a new AI large language model. Every single week, there are hundreds of new AI tools coming to market, each of them saying they're going to be disruptive, they're going to transform business, they're going to hand you all this productivity and time savings. It is unrelenting. And the impact of this is we are expected to be on top of it, and we're expected to pivot our business to it at that pace, and it's exhausting. And so as we step back from it all, what we've realized is the pressure is on. Your board is feeling it, your leadership team is feeling it, your competitors are putting more pressure on you because they're trying to leverage the same technology to outmaneuver you. What's more, your customers are demanding it of you because their expectations are changing. What's fascinating, though, is despite all of that pressure, 75%, I repeat it again, of business leaders feel they're not moving fast enough on AI. And when we talk to HubSpot customers, despite the fact that so many of you are early adopters, you tell us the exact same thing. So you've got to ask yourself the question, why can't you move fast on AI? What's getting in the way? Well, we've spoken to literally hundreds of HubSpot customers, and they answered with two distinct themes. One, AI just doesn't feel attainable. And two, the AI tools we're using today, they're just not meeting expectation. They're under-delivering. So let's unpack each of these real quickly. Let's start with AI not feeling attainable. When everything we see in the media and every headline that we read is large enterprise companies spending considerable budget and resource and time on AI, this is just not the reality that we live in our scaling businesses. So let me give you a couple of examples. Anyone heard of Morgan Stanley before? One of the largest financial services companies in the world, headquartered in North America. When they embarked on their AI initiative, who did they work with? OpenAI. Now, what is the chances of any of us being able to have that opportunity in our scaling business? It's just not the world we live in. A little closer to home, Telstra, one of the largest, most successful companies on the ASX. Telstra announced early this year a partnership with Accenture, one of the world's leading management consulting firms, a $700 million initiative fueled by AI to transform their business. $700 million. It's just not attainable for a scaling business. Let's talk about the second aspect, AI tools under-delivering. Ever since the release of ChatGPT, all we've heard is about the hype. AI is going to transform. AI is going to disrupt. AI is going to unleash productivity. But the reality is, I'm sure the experience that you're finding in your business today is it's just, I don't know, it's underwhelming. I bet you've got one tool that you're using to summarize your Zoom calls and your team meetings. I'm willing to bet you've got another AI tool that your sales team, well, they're using that to research their prospects. You've probably got another AI tool that you're using to automate some of these repetitive tasks and over again. And when you step back from it all and you think about, well, what does this experience look like? I'm willing to bet it feels underwhelming. Why? Because AI is based on one-off use cases. They're disconnected. They're disconnected from the business landscape and the business systems that we have in our organization. And lastly, they're just not learning. They're not leveraging all of the business acumen, the business understanding, the customer insights that we have in our organization. It is absolutely no wonder that this just feels hard. So what do we need to do? How do we take advantage of this opportunity? Well, at HubSpot, what we've worked out is what you need is help. What you don't need is any more hype. And so today is about help. What you're going to hear from us is how we're going to turn AI from a novelty to a business necessity. And we think that the only way to be able to do that with you is to share with you tangible use cases that you can take back to your company across all of your go-to-market teams that are going to deliver business value. And we're going to share with you what we've been working on. You're also going to hear from a number of business and technology leaders about the steps that they've taken in their organizations so you can learn from their experience. Now at HubSpot, our mission hasn't changed in decades. We exist to be able to help millions of organizations like yours to be able to grow better. And as Yamini said earlier, the time is now. There is no better opportunity for scaling businesses to take advantage of this unique moment in time that we find ourselves to deliver growth at scale. With that, I'm really excited to be able to introduce you to a colleague and a good friend of mine, Mike Holzer. Mike is our EVP for UX in our product team. He's based in Oregon. He's flown here to be able to be with you today. And Mike's going to inspire you with what we've been working on at HubSpot. Strap yourself in. You're in for a treat. Thanks, everyone.